What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, the Crypto Ape, and I'm back with another VeVe and Akomi video. And today we're going to be revisiting the secret drop strategy that I posted 6 months ago. And the fact of the matter is that the VeVe and Akomi team have been way on top of patching and polishing the app experience, and so there's not that many ways to go ahead and get an unfair advantage like we used to. But there are still a few things that you guys can do to give yourself a leg up against the competition. And so in this video, we are going to go over those things. So without further ado, let's get right into it, guys. As you guys know, the clock gate no longer works, and there are some phone settings that you guys are going to want to do before you guys get ready for a drop. For example, number one, you're going to want to make sure that your display doesn't lock on you, because if you're just waiting 5 minutes before the drop happens and you have your phone set up to lock in 30 seconds, well, then you got to tap it every 30 seconds, and if you forget, you're going to have to unlock your phone, and you may run into some unwanted problems, maybe like a loading screen or something of that nature. So you guys just want to be really careful to make sure your phone stays on and open during the time you're waiting for the drop to actually happen. That rolls right into the second tip, is that you want to be on the page that you want to be on for the drop about 5 to 10 minutes before it happens, just in case there's heavy load issues and you can't even get in. That being said, let's talk a little bit about the fact that there are now two different ways to do drops. Now, there is the original way, which is direct drops, where you can go in and select a direct collectible that you want to go for, and then there is the new way, which is blind box drops. Now, the way you tackle each one of these drops is going to be a little bit different, and you're going to have to use a different strategy for each type of drop. So without further ado, we're going to go and look at, first of all, the blind box drops. And it's important to know what page that you're going to want to be on when you go ahead and want to do a blind box drop. So you want to go to the participation page. You can find this page easily by finding the item card, just like we did in the last strategy. And when you click on it, if it's a blind box, it will clearly tell you, in order to participate in this drop, you must go to the blind box page. You can literally click that little note and it'll bring you to the correct page, and it should look something like this. Now, this is the page that you'll be on before a blind box drop. This countdown will go down to 0, and then a buy button will appear right between the notify me and this little excerpt of what the collectible is. So right here in the middle is where the buy button will appear. So knowing that information, you're going to be able to more easily click that a little bit faster. Now, additionally, in VeVe Drops, we have a strategy that's basically the best strategy at this point to get in early, as early as possible, is you want to be spamming that space where the button is gonna pop up like a few seconds before the button actually does show up. That way you don't have to see it, then have your brain tell your hands to go and push it. No, you're just pushing it over and over and over again, so as soon as it comes up, faster than you could actually see it, recognize it, and tell your hands to push the button, you're going to be already having pushed the button. So a lot of people are doing that, and if you haven't been doing that spam strategy, then maybe that's why you haven't been able to cop. So with blind boxes, you want to try to spam right between the notify and that other thing. It's very kind of difficult because there's a really thin margin there, as you can see. You don't want to accidentally hit the notify button or the drop down menu, because that's really going to mess you up. So practice this one on the side, hours and hours before the drop happens. Make sure that you can get accurately to spam inside that little window there. For the direct drops, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and figure out which one you want to go for beforehand. Have a game plan going in. Maybe you know that this one's going to have a massive amount of users, maybe 500,000 users going for only 10,000 or 5,000 editions for the ultra rare. Maybe you want to say, hey, you know what? You guys can have your ultra rare. I'll go for the rare, so I guarantee that I'll cop one. So by that, I mean, hey, go for the ultra rare if you want. I'm not saying which one to go for, but figure it out what you want to do before the drop happens, so you're not flopping and groping and trying to figure that out right before it happens. You want to have less stuff on your plate during the actual drop time, so you can focus on actually getting the drop. Now, the screen that you're going to be on for a regular direct drop is going to be a little bit different, and we're going to take a look at that screen now as I pull it up here. So this is the screen that you're going to be on. This is actually the lower half of the screen. The collectible is actually supposed to be above this, but that doesn't matter. So for the direct drops, you'll see a price, a countdown timer, and the buy now button. And if you click this buy now button, a error page will show, an error overlay will come up, and it'll say, hey, this isn't available yet, so there was an error, and it'll say click OK to get rid of that page. What you need to do is you need to line up this buy now button with wherever that OK button on that error message pops up, so that when you're spamming the buy now button, it goes back and forth from hitting buy now to closing out that error page. Buy now, closing out the error page. Buy now, closing out the error page. Right before the drop, you want to be hitting that really fast, because you know, even if you try to hit the buy now button at the last possible second, you're probably still going to get an error page, because it's not going to register that the countdown is, or you might hit it just like a millisecond too early. You get that error page, and then the 1 second it takes you to close that out and hit buy now, you're going to be SOL. So if you line up the OK button on top of the buy now button on your phone, you can do that by just scrolling your app up or down, whichever way you need to go, and you're spamming that one spot over and over again. You're going to be able to quickly, faster than you could ever do it without this strategy, you're going to be able to cancel that error message and hit buy now right in the nick of time, and maybe get an opportunity to reserve a collectible. So that's how you're going to be doing it for the direct collectibles. And there are actually a couple of things that you can do to help you with your overall experience. It will work on any type of these drops, and I'm going to go over those things now. First of all, there are some apps out there that can be used to reduce your latency. So if you look out for some of those on the Android or iTunes or Apple marketplaces, I'm sure you can find a solution to reduce latency, or maybe even shut down other apps from communicating and focusing only on using your VeVe to connect to your internet connection. That would be one thing you could do to give yourself an advantage. In addition to that, you could always get an additional phone. I know this is kind of a gray area, but there are a lot of people using multiple phones, and at the end of the day, if everybody's doing it, then you're putting yourself at a disadvantage if you're not doing it, right? Or maybe you could get a friend or a spouse to help you out. Now, I'm not saying go and get engaged so that you can get more VeVe drops, right? But you know, like, find a friend or have your partner help you out. Like, tell them, hey, just give me 5 minutes of your time, help me with this drop, we can make some serious quiche. So having an additional device is always quite helpful. Additionally, another thing you can do is you can plug your phone directly into your internet modem using one of these. It has one of those Ethernet jacks that goes directly to a USB-C. They have ones for iPhone as well, I believe, and regular USBs. So these are really nice. This was about $17 on Amazon. Definitely worth it. Helps me get my drops on my main device all the time. The latency is near zero when you're using something like this. So that's something that you could do for both blind and direct drops. Now, finally, I want to talk a little bit about what you can expect if you have a successful NFT purchase, and it will look like this. So if you actually get one, this is the screen you'll be granted with. It'll say you have Eternals 15287 has been assigned to you. It'll be in your collection in about 2 hours. Additionally, even before this screen actually comes up, if the app takes your gems out of your account, then that is a pretty good indicator that you actually did get the drop, and you can take a breath of relief at that point. Now, once you see this page and you close it out, don't panic. If you go back to the item card, you will see you have 1 order pending delivery. That means that you have successfully copped an NFT. You're just going to have to wait for them to deliver it to your inbox. Now, if you fail the NFT drop, you're not going to see either one of those things. You will probably see that red error message, the one that we talked about lining up for the spam strategy, and or you will see an infinite loading page or an infinite reservation where the buy button used to be. Those 3 things all means that you did not get the NFT, and you have to wait for the next drop, I suppose. And, you know, at the end of the day, guys, it's much harder to get an unfair advantage here, but that is good for the project. And it's tough to get these, I know, and it's frustrating sometimes, but you guys gotta just keep trying, keep a good attitude, and at the end of the day, if it wasn't really hard to get these things, then they wouldn't be worth anything. So I wanted to update the strategy to show you guys where we're at now, and I don't want you guys using bad strategies that are going to get you locked out of drops. So there it is. That's how you cop on VeVe drop days. I will catch you guys on the next video. Apes together strong. Catch you later.